Joining here on the TRS podcast is Rosie and Carmen from the band Bones. Ladies, welcome to the show.
Hey! How are you doing?
I'm doing great. It's a privilege to have both of you on. I have been following your band for well over, I think, 4 years now. And as I mentioned before we got started here, I was fortunate enough to catch one of your shows when you were on tour with Highly Suspect, which is crazy. It's almost been 4 years. And we met in Nashville briefly. I was photographing you in your opening set, and then we met afterwards at the merch booth, and you guys had written "ass and titties" in my book and signed it. So thank you very much for doing that.
I think we might have had a couple of tequilas that night, if we're honest.
It was Rosie's birthday, to be honest. I think we definitely had quite a few.
When in Nashville, that usually happens. Everyone's like, if people are sober, awesome, go that route. But if you're into partying and stuff, Nashville's a great city to come play a show and have some drinks afterwards. It's there's no better place for that. For sure.
We love Nashville. We love it.
Yes. I know you guys are coming back to Nashville in this spring, and I want to talk about that in a moment because you guys are going to be on tour with Royal Blood. But first, I would like to talk to you about the acoustic album coming out on the 22nd, 23rd, I believe, which is right when you start the Korn album, or excuse me, the Korn tour. But as far as the acoustic album is concerned, what was the selection process like? Were there songs that you were like, man, I really want to do this acoustic, but it just doesn't sound right or doesn't fit? Was there a process for you as far as picking the songs you want to do acoustic?
Well, we basically decided that we wanted to pick some songs that were not our favorites, but that we could already kind of hear in our heads as acoustic, or that were challenging to change into an acoustic version. And there's certain songs that are like you would never imagine and heard the original version would be us making them acoustic, but we really enjoyed doing this whole thing. And it's 5 songs, and I don't know if you know, but you'll hear them soon.
Well, I've actually been fortunate enough to actually get a preview listen to the acoustic stuff, and the Beautiful is Boring. One, I love that song in general, first off, but two, the acoustic version really, really brings out a lot of textures in that song. I don't know. It seemed like that one was probably your favorite one to do. At least for me, it was my favorite acoustic version. But that song just seems to just fit.
That was the first one that we did. So we basically, our record label said, can you do a couple of like acoustic-y versions of the tracks that are your biggest songs, the ones that we'd already released? And we were like, yeah, sure. And we had this whole concept. And Carmen rearranged them all. So she put the strings to them and stuff. And Beautiful Spring was the first one that she did. So when I heard that one, it was like fucking Tarantino meets like New Orleans jazz. Yeah. It was so rad. And that was the one where it really came into its own. And the other ones, 2 of them were already acoustic, kind of quite stripped back for us anyway. And then Pretty Waste we could have some more fun with it because we took it more sort of percussion.
Right.
So, but yeah, Beautiful Boring is definitely the poster child. It was the one that we think is the most successful. Carmen nailed it.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned your drummer, Heavy. She is a monster behind the drum kit. She's fantastic live. So it was really cool. I'm glad you mentioned the percussion stuff because on that acoustic version, she really does fantastic work on that, man.
Oh, he's incredible. He's so good.
Now, kind of fast forward because this album comes out, like I said, right as the Korn album or the Korn tour is going to start. So you're going to be on tour with Korn, which is wild. I was fortunate enough to see them this summer, and those guys are as good as they have been ever in the last 20 plus years. They still they have that. And Jonathan Davis, the energy that comes from him off stage is unbelievable. And if you have a chance to see him, obviously you're going to get to see it nearly every night. So how did that come to be? You get that call from your manager or whoever's handling that. You get the call like, hey, guess what? You're going on tour with Korn to pretty much start your year. What was that phone call like?
Well, listen, we had no tours, so we basically released the album and we had no one to tours. We were in this moment where we were like, oh my God, what the fuck are we going to do? And then we were waiting. We're looking at whatever tours we could go on. We were like, oh, we'll just go on tour with anyone. And then suddenly this call came from Jonathan Davis, his team, who apparently he works with our label, Sumerian. And we got a phone call saying that he's a really big fan of what we do. He doesn't usually like any other music. He loves what we do. And he'd like to take us out on the road with him. And then he came down to our album launch party. We met him. He asked for a photograph with us, which was completely mental. And then, and now we're going on tour with them. So we are just so honored. We're so excited.
That's awesome, man. we've talked with some other bands like Fire from the Gods and a few others that have worked with Jonathan, whether it be, like co-writing or producing or whatever. And usually you hear stories about like, they were co-producer, but they really weren't hands-on. And like Jonathan Davis is like the opposite. Like he's like, yeah, man, he's like, let's come to the studio and hang out and get personal with it. So it's really cool that he's, reached out and like, yeah, I love what you do. Let's go on tour. That's super awesome.
It's sick.
That is,
it's sick. We're so excited.
Yeah, because I mean, you think like, as much as those guys have been through musically, they could easily have a big head and be like, yeah, we're fucking Korn, whatever, but they're not that way at all, which is great.
No, it's always the really successful ones that are the nicest. Usually, it's kind of the middle echelon that kind of tend to be the dicks, I find. Do you know what I mean? Like the big legends are usually like the nicest. The people who sort of need to prove themselves that are kind of like dicks.
Yeah, I think I'm with you on that. Like I said, being in Nashville, I run across a lot of people backstage and stuff, and like a lot of times, like, run into people like, oh man, I don't know if I don't want to, should I say hi? Should I not say hi? I'm like, fuck, I'm going to go say hi. And then like, they're super cool. And I'm like, oh shit, I can't believe I was even nervous about saying hi, You mentioned people.
I think it was with,
You mentioned about people being dicks. Have you had a personal experience where people were kind of like, these chicks here, you don't have to name any names, but if you have a story, I would definitely want to hear it.
Yeah, the guy that said girls can't play guitar.
Yeah. We have the guy, he wasn't even a famous person, he was just a dick. Yeah. The guy in Camden who told us that girls can't play guitar because we've got smaller hands than boys. Biologically impossible. He's a bit of a dick.
Sounds like it. Well, maybe he was overcompensating for something, I mean, who knows? But...
Yeah, I think we know, I agree. Now, I didn't find out personally.
Now, you guys, this past summer, I keep backtracking. I don't want to get the royal blood and the Grammys here in a moment as well, but a band that I'm a huge fan of, and I was fortunate enough to become friends with over the years. So they came to Nashville and played tons and tons of shows, and that is the Glorious Sons. You guys did some shows with them this past summer with the Struts. So I can only imagine the fantastic nights you had with the guys from the Glorious Sons.
My God, it was like from the moment we all met, it was like, we had Naked Boys Club, like 2 nights in, we ended up at this casino, and we had a party back at our bus, but our bus wasn't a bus, it's just a U-Haul trailer, so we all just sat on the top of the U-Haul trailer drinking whiskey all night with the Glorious Sons and the Struts boys, and then it sort of escalated into everyone being topless and doing races. Like all the boys racing each other, so that was Naked Boys Club. Brett and I got kicked out. And then Brett and Carmen got kicked out of the casino. Brett fell over in Naked Boys Club during a race and ripped a layer of skin off his back. It was absolute chaos. But those boys like family. We loved them.
Yeah, I mean, I love those dudes, and it's funny because they came to Nashville a couple of times, right, like kind of before they kind of blew up, and they would play in front of 10, 15, 20 people, and of course you never know it, and they would just tear it up and man, this band is wildly crazy good, Right. And I remember one time they drove 16 hours from Kingston, Ontario all the way to Nashville, and the band that they were supposed to be opening with canceled on them. So they were fuck it, we'll play for free, fuck it, and they were just partied all night, and you were backstage, drinking way too much wine, I love those dudes, man, they're fantastic, and I'm glad they're super successful.
We love them.
But yeah, one of my favorites now. I want to talk about the Grammy nomination, right? Kind of like I mean, obviously, you never write music and make an album and think that, we're going to do this and get a Grammy nomination and, all this, all this happens, they release the information, you're nominated for a Grammy. One, have you been practicing a speech, and would you like to practice one now? And two, are you attending?
We're definitely attending. We're on tour with Korn at the time, but luckily it falls on a day that got off. Nice. So the moment we literally get off stage and we get straight onto a plane, we literally have an hour window to get to the airport, and the airport's 40 minutes away. So you have to get off the stage, into a taxi, get on this plane back to LA. We're going to the Grammys. We've got an amazing team around us, making us look as good as possible, which is always a problem for me and Carmen. looking cool. So we've got this mega magical team, and we're definitely going to go. We have not prepared a speech, but apparently we maybe should, but that makes us feel sick. So we won't be doing that, and probably if it happens, we'll just say something cripplingly embarrassing, and they'll be making memes out of us saying the worst Grammys.
The music will be playing in the background. They'll be playing you off come on, move along.
You're like, who the fuck let these people in? Like, there's just been some kind of mistake. Oh, the other Bones, they were nominated, not this.
Honestly, the Grammys could only benefit from having you on there doing that. Honestly,
I agree.
mean, because it's so. I mean, it's so safe and produced. And I get it; it's a live TV event, and it's got to be calculated and correct. But it seems like there's no. It's just not. It's just no spontaneity at all in some of these live broadcasts. It's very formed.
Yeah, it's like I remember there was always like the MTV Awards and stuff. There was like someone be really drunk and like there was back in the day we're from England and the Brit Awards always used to be like chaos and like Liam Gallagher would get like drunk and fall like it was just like and that doesn't feel like there's no booze, there's no alcohol served. It's going to be quiet. It's cheers in the day. It's going to be quite chill, I think. But I think we're going to be taking some hip flasks and definitely be having a couple of drinks for everyone.
Hell yeah. I mean, if you need to fly me in to do some naked running around stage or something, I am available, I think, Not that anybody needs to see that, but I'm not sure how fast they'll get going doing it naked, but
Hey.
All right, now obviously, being from the UK, you guys are, after the Korn thing wraps up, you're going to be right back on the road again in springtime with Royal Blood, a band that I absolutely loved. Now, do you guys know the guys from Royal Blood? Have you guys, toured and played together?
We met them. We met them at Lollapalooza. So we don't know them back from England. We met them through a friend of ours who's in he's in London Grammar. So we were just all hanging out backstage, and as British people often do at festivals, you just kind of magnetize towards each other because you're probably being the loudest. So we all sort of just like met each other and made dick jokes and sort of like then became best friends. So we've been hanging out with them ever since. Every time they're in LA, and then it just like the next time they were doing an American tour, it made sense for us all to be together because we all had so much fun. So we can't wait. They're literally like brothers. So we're going to have such a laugh.
Yeah, man, that is going to be a great tour. And you guys are actually coming through Nashville, I want to say early May, I think. So you guys will be back in Music City.
You have to come. Yeah, I think that's...
Yeah, most definitely. No, I've actually already spoke with your people about coming out and photographing already and stuff. So that's already in the works. So we're definitely going to, hopefully we can put that together and make it happen. And we can...
we'll get a drink.
Yeah, definitely. I would love to even grab some offstage photos of you guys, hanging out downtown somewhere in Nashville or something, some candids. I would love to do that. I think it'd be a blast.
We're in. We're absolutely in.
And I have a great place to take you downtown. It is called Skull's Rainbow Room. It is they have a fantastic jazz band there, and it's burlesque, some of the best burlesque dancers you'll see. So I have a feeling you guys would absolutely love doing that. So if we can make it work, we get together, get down to Printer's Alley. We'll see my friend Kristen dance, and she will knock your socks off for sure.
We're so in. We're so in.
Right
I'm
on.
sure
Awesome.
the boys will be in. Yeah, I'm sure Mike and Ben will probably come as well.
That's fantastic. I think we pretty much have covered everything. We acoustic album. We got Royal Blood, Cone Tours, Grammy nomination. Do you want to practice your speech now? I don't want to put you on the spot here. Is there anything you would think about saying?
I feel like it'd be like, oh my god, something like that. That'd be it.
Yes.
Or like, oh my god, or like, fuck, and then just like fuck, and then walk off. That'll be it. I think that's it.
That's good. Boom, done. Short, sweet, and to the point.
Yeah.
Well,
drop the mic.
Everyone always complains about the Grammys every year, like, they don't respect rock and metal, and that same old kind of worn out conversation. But I feel this year, looking at the nominations and the bands that are nominated, I'm like, it feels pretty spot on to me for the most part. I like it. There's a lot of great bands, and you guys are included with them, and I think it's fantastic. And it's nice to see you guys get the credit you deserve for being on the road and playing show after show after show.
Thank you so much. We're very, very happy.
Yeah, no, I'm happy for you. Like I said, I can't believe it's been almost 4 years since I've been, following your band.
And
stuff,
I think it has.
It's three because we didn't move to America until March. So it's going to be 3 years since we moved here, and that was just after we moved. It's less than 3 years.
I think it's less than 3 years. Yeah, I think it's 4 years. We weren't living in America.
Yeah, so that was before, really things started taking off here. Now, one thing I want to let before I let you run here, and again, I appreciate the time, I really do. The video for Afraid of Americans, obviously a David Bowie 9 Inch Nails cover. you guys had to go through a process as far as getting approval, one, to even do the song and the video, right? So, if you don't mind talking to me about the process, and was there other songs that you would consider doing a cover of?
No, we got asked to do that track by Howard Stern for a tribute record to David. And we had to ask David Bowie's family, which I think is beautiful. Like, we had to ask their permission to see if they would let us, release the video. They had to look at the video, and they had to check that they approved it, and they approved it. So that's amazing. In a way, their family, it's so cool.
We were excited to see it.
Yeah, I love that. We were happy they saw it. So it's great they liked it.
Well, you did a
I
fantastic.
think David would have loved it.
Yeah, well, I imagine that's kind of a nerve-wracking thing, though. You put this, work in, you do the video and the song and everything, and then you send it off to see what they think about it. That's got to be,
Oh, I know, right?
What was the waiting period there? Was it just a couple of days? You're like waiting, like, oh my God, I hope they don't hate it.
It was too long. It was longer than you'd want it to be, put it that way.
Right, fair
Especially
enough.
after all the work, we were like, this might never see the light.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I remember you guys talking about that on Instagram or something, and like I think there was like a long period, like I feel like it was months, I think. And then obviously the video is really fantastic, and you guys put a really, really cool spin on it. Was there other songs you had considered doing as far as covers are concerned?
We got asked to do that one
that's right. Okay.
specifically, so it happened to be perfect for us. So that's good.
Yeah,
we didn't quite know it that well.
Yeah, why are people afraid of Americans? That's the age-old question, right? Let's start a list right now. Let's see. Guns, ammunition.
It's scary. It's scary. People, the lyric is, I'm afraid of Americans, I'm afraid of the world. And I think that's appropriate. I think there's terrifying English people, there's terrifying American people, there's terrifying.
Yeah, I agree.
All of the above. But there's also a lot of good people, so let's focus on them.
Oh yeah, no, I joke all the time about guns and ammunition in America because we just have so many of them, But
I know, right?
America is I grew up here, so it's it's a great place. But like any place around the world, there's just ups and downs, and there's the jerk offs, too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, always agreed. Yeah.
But. All right, well, ladies, that's really all I have for you. Is there anything you want to say in closing?
No, we're amazing. That's everything that we wanted to say ever.
We summarized everything in our lives quickly.
Yeah.
I dig it. Right on. Well, you're not supposed to be so excited for the interview to be over. You know that, right?
No! We can stay forever.
I'm totally messing with you. But, I'll let you run. It's been a pleasure talking with you, and thank you again. And have a fantastic time on the road with Korn.
Thank you.
And I will catch you this spring in Nashville. I'm looking forward to it.
Can't fucking wait. Take care.
Hell yeah. It is Bones here on Revelator.